Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Australis Shield. Tonight we are having I actually think it's fair to say we've got four of some of the best battlers in our Arena Australis Discord server playing tonight. But actually not joining me. You guys are going to be doing most of the work. We've got Zeetarb from WA and MurkrowAsylum from New South Wales. But I mean, you're a Queenslander at heart, right, Murkrow? So you're basically ready to go.
As some people say, turncoat.
All right, fantastic. Thanks for coming in, gentlemen. There's actually been quite a lengthy tournament thus far, and I haven't actually got the graphic for the full bracket, but you guys actually participated in the start of this tournament, didn't you?
Yeah, that's correct.
I think we both lost to battlers who are going to be featuring tonight, so that'll be interesting.
There's no shame. There's no shame in losing to the best, right? All right, so I'll pop up the bracket here, cover our faces, and we can see that, we've got They Love Jai is through into the semi-finals, as is Gone 1001. Oh, there you are. Hey, you're both on the graphic. Hey, guys, you made the graphic.
Yeah, good achievement.
So our first battle tonight we're going to have is Fort War versus Clunk NZ. Obviously, we've seen way too much of Clunk, I think, so far from these shield things. Have you guys actually faced him in these at all?
No, I haven't. Not in the Australis Shield.
I believe I've lost to him at least once in this tournament. I may have got a win over him one time as well, so a bit even. He's always a very tough battler in these tournaments, though.
Yeah,
I believe the previous season was named the Clunk NZ Shield, just for winning all the Australis Shields that we were holding.
Yeah, yes, Mikey. We know there is an echo. Unfortunately, that's coming from this Video Ninja, so we'll be having slightly echoey casters throughout the battle today. It's just part of the ambience that we're here to create, which is a little bit annoying, but we will be dealing with it. Surround sound. Yeah, that's it. That's right. As we can see here, the last two winners are actually in this tournament. So this is the 2025 season where we had the Dual Destiny, the Might and Mastery, and now we're in the Delightful Days. So we're doing 4 tournaments a year, 1 a quarter, and this is where we're up to. And Clunk and Jai are both participating in this tournament. But for the year, this is the big thing. This is the big one. So this is the points. So this is how you actually get your name on the Bennett Trophy, is by getting through all of this and win the points. So we can see here, we actually have clear favourites in Clunk and They Love Jai, both tied on 22 points at the top of the table. And obviously in chat, we got Mikey Morgs, who's going to be doing his absolute best here tonight to push his way to that number 1 spot. Gentlemen, have you got a favourite for today?
I mean, for me personally, I have to think They Love Jai, based on his excellent run at NAIC and how well he's been playing at locals and other tournaments as well. He seems to have really stepped up his game for the past couple of months, so I reckon that's gonna really play through tonight.
I'm going to be biased and say Mikey Morgs, not just because he's a Queenslander, but he's actually a really good battler. I've battled him a couple of times, causing a bit of trouble.
He had the toughest run through as well.
Yeah, 100%. Mikey Morgs does really well in these big tournaments, so I expect Mikey to step up again.
All right, hopefully we've cleared up the audio issue there. I may have clicked the button, and it seems to have done something slightly better. So hopefully that will go through. So let's have a quick look at the previous Bennett Trophy winners here. So 2022 in AA, we had Dank Broad, who I think is pretty retired now from Pokemon Go. Jakobovic, also retired from Pokemon Go. Clunk NZ last year. And then obviously Clunk's on track to win in 2025. But Jai, Mikey, there's plenty of people to, I guess, have something to say about that. But because we're all here, we're ready to go. why don't we move into and have a quick look at with Zeetarb and MurkrowAsylum. You guys are going to be taking away. We're going to have a look at the teams of Clark NZ versus Fortwire. Now, this is an open Great League, open team sheet format, so you'll be able to see all the moves. Anyway, good luck, gentlemen. Take it away. I'll pass it over to you.
Yeah, so we've got some teams here with Clunk and Fort White. The first thing that um, stands out for me, especially on Fort White's team, is the probably Clefable. I like the Clefable if it can avoid the Drapion. Sorry, like I feel like he can do all right.
I had to set myself up with a Clefable there behind me, just in honor of Fortois' team, just have it watching to cheer him on. I think the Dustclops on Clunk's team is going to look very, very safe. There's no real hard counter to it. There might be a few matchups that it could lose, but it's nothing is really gonna put a stop to it and shut it down. So I think it'll come every single game for Clunk. You'll either lead it or try and use it as a safe swap.
Yeah, 100%. And if you notice with the Lapras as well, one's running the Ice Beam and the other one's running the Skull Bash variant. So they're seeing something slightly different how they want to use their Laprases. I feel like that the fact that there's no Ice Beam on Clunks, it might entice some more play from Gligar, even though it's still got to watch out for the sparkling area.
And I think the Abomasnow as well from Fortwa looks kind of interesting with the Dedenne, the Lapras with no ice coverage, and then the Shadow Marowak there as targets if it avoids the Drapion and Araquanid.
Yeah, 100%. And what
So
you
I
saw
just
in
got
this
that battle
Steelix,
request. Does that mean we're good to go, or are we waiting for
even though
word
it's
to
so an
go?
RPS meta, I
I'm
feel
just
like if
picking
we can
teams
get
right
on a
now.
roll here and land on the Lapras, or the Araquanid can just get some energy.
And I think Dedenne on Fortwa's team as well looks fairly safe with only really the Kanto Marowak that shuts it down aggressively. It has play into all those other matchups as well. So I think we could see that trying to catch each other out as well.
So line predictions, what are you expecting from Fort?
Ooh, interesting. I think maybe I want to say the Dedenne lead, but I led Dedenne in my first match instantly into the hardest counter. So maybe that's not a sensible prediction from my part. Maybe it'd be safer running it in the back and not just
Yeah,
instantly losing.
yeah, that's fair. Well, I expect the Dustclops to come from Clunk. As you said, it's fairly safe. The I don't know, the Dedenne looks fairly good as well if we can avoid the Gligar. But yeah, like it's going to be interesting to see what these trainers come up with.
I think if I was Clunk, I'd really want to run the Marowak, Dedenne, Dustclops trio, but then the Gligar is kind of a nice core breaker for that. So it probably forces him to run the Lapras at some stage to get into that as well.
Yeah, 100%. You want to knowing that the Gligar may come for your strongest core, they may bring something just to try and check the Gligar. And it looks like these battles are almost ready to go. We have the Lapras onto the Steelix.
It's a great lead for the Steelix, I think, with that Thunderfang damage.
Yeah,
And there is
100%. Just get some energy, and looks like it was a CMP tie with Lapras getting off its charge move. It's going
and
to
the
do a
no
lot of
shield from
damage.
Fortwire straight up.
Yeah, and we got this Psychic Fang coming through here. It doesn't look like it's going to get shielded, but it'll ramp up these Thunder Fangs.
Yeah, there's no real pressure from the Steelix charge move, so take the debuff and swap out. Interesting to come into the Gligar here to respond to the Drapion. It's not the best matchup for the Gligar with the fast pacing on those Aquatails.
Yeah, and considering the Drapion got some Poison Sting head starts too, it's just going to ramp up these Aquatails, and just going to get a shield here from Gligar. And shield correctly.
Oh, and the
Looks
bait,
like
the bait coming in, it's an aggressive bait as well. I'm
are we going to get a
wondering if
shield? Get the shield. Oh, he shielded the bait. gets another Aqua Tail before he gets off. Will we get another shield here, or will he let the Gligar go?
Yeah, it probably was a safe shield on Clunk's part. Worst case scenario, he still gets another Aqua Tail off to get the second shield back. Oh, that is a
We have a nice
spectacular
catch.
catch.
This is not going to do much damage at all, being the water type. So, yeah, all goes that energy. But this Drapion's just pacing so quick. Attempted catch there into Lapras.
So the challenge now is you've got the Skull Bash Lapras on the Ice Beam Lapras, and this matchup is very nice for the Skull Bash Lapras. You can, even when you're behind health and behind energy, I think you can
100%.
get the Skull Bash off still. It's going to be very close.
Are we going to get a shield here? Yeah, we do get a shield. It looks like we want to try and get this Skull Bash off to try and get some damage on this other Lapras. But the other problem is it leaves a potential farm down as well for whatever comes in next.
With the Kanto Marowak in the back, I think getting it on that Steelix is going to be very critical to end the game. It's not going to do a lot to that Gligar.
Yeah, 100%. This Lapras, and looks like Clunk's gonna not get alignment, and he's gonna have to come in with the Drapion, farm up some energy, farm down, and what's gonna come in next? Straight Aqua Tail straight away.
Without seeing the third mon, Fortwise made the correct choice to bring in the Steelix.
Yeah, 100%. Get it in the right spot, and looks like a Aerialist was caught on the Marowak. That was a great catch. Try and preserve it. Get to the digs, throws it straight away. Put a lot of pressure on this Kanto Marowak. I believe it will still survive though.
It's 2 away from the rock slide, but I think it's going to get there before that Gligar can knock it out as well.
Yeah, but it's going to put it very low, so it'd be for potential farm down for Steelix. After this takes it out, comes in with the Steelix. Now, can he get to the? Oh, what a battle! Able to
just
mud slap down just in time for the Psychic Fangs.
Yep. And my prediction of the Dusclops coming every game was not even close.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised not to see it. I felt like it would have had a lot of neutral play at least. But in saying that, the Marowak got onto a good position-ish, and then was able to farm down the Steelix to end the game and give Clonk a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, and once the Drapion had really kind of chipped down that Gligar, what is usually quite a bad matchup for the Marowak becomes very manageable when you've got that health advantage in particular.
Yeah, 100%. What changes are you expecting for Fortwolf to adjust for game 2?
I wonder if the Obama Snow might come, given the Lapras Marowak core. It would do quite a good job of breaking that if Clunk was to rely on it again.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised not to see it. There wasn't any Dedenne play either for game 1.
I think the Drapion save, the Gligar probably wasn't the response to the Drapion save swap he would have hoped. So perhaps he'll change that up and bring either maybe the Dedenne or the Clefable as well.
Yeah, we'll see how game 2 goes, and it looks like Fortwolf's bringing in Dedenne into the Drapion.
Yeah, and we see the Dusclops in the back as well.
Yeah, both teams are bringing the Lapras, so it'll be interesting to see what people do. We got Aqua Tail and a quick shield. Looks like we're trying to get to that parabolic charge before and raise that defense.
It's a risky shield when you know there's a possibility of a Kanto Marowak to force you to come in and force you to give up your buffs, but there's not one in the back at the moment, so the Dedenne is very strong into that backline as well.
Yeah, and we're not going to get a shield this time too, so Drapion's going to do a little bit more damage. However, Dedenne's boosted a little bit in defense. Looks like it's going to try and farm down. No, not quite. It has to try to move.
Yeah, and this would be a risky shield. I think it's very close to a 1 HP. KO, so you don't want to risk that KO through the shield. I think the Dusclops has to come in and farm down from here as well.
Yeah, it's going to try and farm down too. We've got a player off come here. I dare say we're not going to get a shield. No, we're not. And it looks like Dusclops will just farm down, trying to get so much energy coming into the next one.
Ooh, the
Freezing is-
Steelix choice.
Yeah, and most both Laprases are in the back, which means the Clunk has the Skull Bash as well. So 4-up doesn't really want to see that.
It's easy to say, look into the teams. Oh, when you can see the team, which one you should have come in. But when there's that Spectre, that Canto Marowak hanging out in the back again, it's very risky to save the Steelix, because if you get it on that, it's just game over.
Yeah, 100%. And this breaking swipe almost, and we got a quick shield. So this that looks like the Steelix now for a straight Psychic Fang. Try and get as much damage on these Thundersangs as possible. Clunk's gonna have to shield at some stage, but doesn't shield this time. Looks like we're gonna get some more damage. What are we gonna get? Oh, what a catch! Catch onto the Lapras. Although the problem here now is Lapras can't really do much. It can only throw the Sparkling Aria, where this Clunk can throw the Skull Bash.
However, the defense is one stage debuff, so these Sparkling Arias are going to do a touch more damage. I don't know if it affects the Psywave damage with the one-turn move, but it will definitely mean those Sparkling Arias start to add up. That was an amazing catch on a one-turn move. That's very impressive.
This shows how high skilled these trainers are.
Yeah.
And this Skull Bash is going to go through and do a lot of damage to this Lapras.
I think if you fought while you leave this go and put everything on the Steelix.
Yeah, we got a quick swap here from Clunk trying to get rid of it, and then he doesn't get the move off. Steelix farms it down.
No damage registration error survived there, which very rare to happen around Oceania.
Yeah, no, it doesn't have it. No shield from Clunk. I believe he just knows that the results done, and it's 1-1.
Yeah,
That was
a
a nice
great
adjustment.
adjustment from Fort Worth.
Yeah, 100%. And the Dusclops came game 2 as well, which we were expecting for game 1.
I think we saw this a few times in his Melbourne regional third place, if I remember correctly, that he lost the first game and then made some very good adjustments for game 2 and 3. So it's not something he's unfamiliar with in this format as well.
No, look, these guys are all top quality trainers. It won't affect them going down 1-0. So now we've got a decider, which is what everyone's looking for. And yeah, it'd be interesting to see how Clunk adjusts to this. There was no Marowak. Were you a bit surprised about that?
Yeah, and Fortois ran ABA weak to the Marowak as well, so it would be very tempting for Clunk to lead that Marowak, but it's also a very obvious lead to bring in. So potentially Fortois runs something strong against that Marowak, like the Lapras or the Gligar in the lead here.
I will see how it goes. Oh, the Keno Marowak did come against the Obama Snow. It was predicted.
So we've got 2 answers for the Abomasnow in the back at least, but
yeah, 100%. We got a quick swap straight away and throw the Shadow Punch. So it looks like this will go unshielded.
this matchup is going to take a while, I think. But the debuffs from the Steelix are going to add up with the regular Dusclops not outputting heavy damage. It's very, very slow to get damage off. So we may see a swap out eventually as well.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see whether or not, knowing that the Marowak was weak in the front, whether or not Clunk will try and keep this Dusclops a bit healthier. But yeah, these psychic fangs are definitely starting to chip now, and Clunk's going to have to make a decision shortly what he wants to do.
And otherwise, the Steelix can really control how it wants this matchup to play out. Ultimately, it can decide if it wants to win switch or not, with the Hex just not doing enough to farm down.
Yeah, 100%. and there is no Lapras on Clunk's side either, so yeah, it's looks like the Fort One's going to let this go and then give up switch.
Wow. I guess he knows that he's got the Lapras that can handle the Marowak as well, so potentially the energy on this Abomasnow is going to go far. I think if he'd realized there was a Drapion on the back, he may have held on to that switch. Probably predicting the Lapras again.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So he's going into the Marowak, and are we going to get a shield here? Oh yeah, we're going to get one. Icy wins. So yeah, debuff straight away.
So Clunk has, I think, recognized that why would he give up switch if he didn't have another answer to the Marowak in the back, and has kind of come into that Marowak there as well.
Yeah.
Unless he misclicked.
Oh, I'm not sure there, but we've got to swap into Lapras. This Drapion's got so much energy, it's going to start throwing these crunches, and we're not going to get a shield the first time, seeing whether or not we get a debuff straight away.
Yeah, that Icy Wind debuff from is going to be critical.
100%, and these crunches are going to come through, but they're not really. It's going to take at least 2 more to put the Lapras in a chance to take it out.
We did see the double defense fall, so he may only just need an Aquatail from here, I think, to KO it. A double defense fall, more than making up for the attack drop of the Icy Wind. But
yeah, he's letting it go, just putting it all on AWAC, and he gets farms it down before sparking area. Now can he get to 2 moves beforehand?
I think this one's going to get very close because that Abomasnow is quite low, and these Mud Slaps are going to add up even single resisted.
Yeah, and there's 2 shields here on Fort One, so you might have to try and farm it down. We'll get to a third. So he's 1 Mud Slap off getting to a third. Will he get to enough energy to get to the Icy Wind?
So he needs one more move. It's not going to make it, I think. I think that Marak's at back to back, and yeah, it's got the win.
Yeah, that was nice energy management there by Clunk. Well played by both trainers, but you could tell Clunk's just using his energy really well there and identifying where he had to use his Marowak, knowing that Portwa had answers to it in the back.
Yeah, I mean, this is why he's a champion, because bone clubbing an Abomasnow was not something I saw coming.
Damn it! Clunk won? What is this? This is not what we wanted. This is in the script. Clunk was supposed to go out, right?
What was he even meant to make top 8?
But halfway through that match, I thought he was gone when that Marowak came into the Abomasnow. I didn't think there was a way out, so that was very impressive.
Yeah, it's really tricky. The Icy Wind onto the Drapion, you felt like that was like enough of a setup for Lapras to get over the line, but it also meant that the Drapion then just got that bit more energy, and everyone knows Drapion up a little bit of energy is just so tricky. And we have had in the chat, Clunk said complete misclick putting K-Wack into a Abomasnow, so at least that's what he's claiming anyway. But whether we believe him or not, yeah, it's a whole other question. But what this means is we are going to have Mikey Morgs up against Clunk and Zed now. Now that Fortwa or Greg from America is no longer going to be competing.
Yeah, look, it's a mouth-watering battle. Clunk and Mikey Morgs, both top battlers. I've got to stick with my pick. I got to go Mikey.
I know Mikey Morgs has Unova Stunfisk. I don't know what else he had, because that was enough to beat me.
Well, let's just have a quick look. I'll let you guys take away while I set up the screens for the battlers. But here are the teams.
Yeah, so we know Clunk's got the Marowak, Lapras, Drapion, Arachnoid, Dene, and Dusclops, where Mikey Morgs has got Glyzapod using Fury Cutter instead of Shadow Claw. He's got the Stunfisk. Tinkertonk. Have you had much to do with Tinkertonk?
Not in this meta. It's probably one of the few people I've seen running it at the moment. I don't usually come up against them. But it's also quite interesting that he's got 4 answers to that Shadow Marowak, and then the 2 things that are very weak to it. So the Shadow Marowak is going to be a scary bring.
Yeah, it's either going to sink or swim, I think, with Mikey Morgs having it covered in 4 out of the 6 pretty well. But what I have noticed as well is if the Dusclops can avoid the Drapion on Klung, Dusclops looks like it will go all right, pretty well. And as for Klunk, like it wants to avoid the Moltres.
Yeah, but that Moltres has got a lot of targets. It does quite well against the Lapras. It does quite well against the Marowak. It's got super effective charge moves against the Araquanid, even as a neutral matchup. But that Dedenne just kind of looms very largely over it as something to shut it down, which again is very hard to bring. It's basically got 5 good matchups into Mikey's team. So I would bring the Dedenne in the lead against Mikey Morgs, but that did not work out well for me. So maybe Clunk will find a better strategy than that one.
Yeah, we'll see. I got a feeling that Dedenne is definitely probably going to make an appearance at some stage for Clunk. But for Mikey Morgs, I am intrigued. What's the theory behind going Fury Curry, you reckon, instead of going the Shadow Claw?
Like that bug damage, same type attack bonus as well, and that buffed move is very strong on Golisopod at getting it. Just a lot of extra play into some things that usually would resist the Shadow Claw, like the Moltres, the Drapion. The flip side is the Dusclops matchup is nowhere near as good as it used to be. It used to be a very, very neutral matchup. I think one thing that's quite interesting is Tinkaton versus Dedenne. In the zeros, you actually win as Tinkaton not by throwing the super effective bulldozers, but by throwing the player off and landing those. So it'll be interesting to see if the battlers play that out, because that was not something I knew until I looked it up in expectation of this matchup.
And Bulldozer is such a bad move.
Yeah, the play rough, even though it's neutral, is more damage per energy onto the Dedenne as well.
Yeah, 100%. And if you've noticed as well, both Laprases are running Skull Bash, which just means it can't get walled against each other. They've got something to throw. Also means, like, besides, Lapras, I feel like besides the Stun Fisk on Mikey Moore's, like, I know Lapras can hit back, but Lapras is actually fairly safe for Clunk.
I think potentially some sort of ABB team with the Tinkerton and Stunfisk may come on Mikey's side, given Kanto Marowak can only do so many things on its own.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I'm expecting, I don't know. I'm just going to stick with my boy and hopefully Mikey wins this one.
Yeah. I think we'll see a lot more of the Dedenne from Clunk this time, unless he is afraid of getting stuck in that U-Fist matchup.
Yeah, I got a feeling U-Fist might come as well for Mikey. Like, it's fairly safe besides the Marowak, but as we pointed out, Mikey has a lot of counters for Marowak, so I might go Dedenne double strong to Marowak.
Yeah, there's always the option for Mikey as well of running 3 Marowak counters, and then if Clunk brings it, it's just completely shut down, and it probably puts that psychological pressure on to not bring it in the next game as well, even if you don't bring it game 1.
The mind games involved in Show 6.
Yeah, and these two are very good at those as well, and they're very good at they do a lot of Show 6 battles, and they're very good at the psychology from both their side and their opponent's side. And it looks like we've got teams locked in and are about to start.
Yeah, it looks like they're locked in, and it looks like we've got Arachnoid into Dusclops.
This is a very good matchup for the Dusclops, but because of the low hit points of the Dusclops, the Araquanid could still put in work with those one-turn fast moves, but Clunk jumps straight out of that into the Lapras, which is interesting.
Yeah, 100%. But these Shadow Claws are going to do. Oh, he's going straight into the Glyzopod. Now, the fact that he's got Skull Bash now, which we get a shield straight away, gives Lapras something. But yeah, we've got a good shield, but the defense has been boosted.
It would have been an interesting opportunity for a bait, but that defense boost is probably too good to pass up. And now I've got back-to-back X's, so I don't think we'll see a shield come out here from Clunk.
Yeah, if he doesn't shield this, I reckon Clunk will be happy to just get the shield advantage. He gets the sparkling aria off as well, just to do some damage for it, paints, and come in with the next mod. And it looks like he will bring in the Arachnoid. Try and we get a quick swatch into the Dusclops. Which throws the Shadow Punch.
And Clunk still slightly switch lock. Maybe opportunity for a debuff and then a leave, but it's very risky as well, unfortunately. This is going straight for the Water Pulse. The Dusclops, the instant no shield, because Arachnoid would love to bait in this situation. So
100%. And that's some nice damage on Dusclops, but Dusclops getting so much energy and it's just going to go back-to-back Shadow Punches. Will we get a shield here? No, we don't get a shield. The Shadow Punch just doesn't do enough. Throw it again. We're going to get a shield this time. Does he want to preserve it? No, he looks like he wants to put it all in the K-Whack.
even against and there's the stun fist. That was a good choice to prepare to preserve the Marowak, because I think this game is basically over now.
Yeah, this Marowak's just going to do so much fast moving Shadow as well. And it's got 2 shields behind it, and it looks like Mikey's resigned to the fact no shield as well by Clunk.
Yeah, this Marowak can take several mud bombs, and the Thunder Shocks do not do a lot of damage.
Yeah, 100%. And we do get a shield this time, so Clunk's not going to try and 2 shield flex. But we do still have 2 Mons that don't have much health left. He's almost at back-to-back Aqua Jets as well. Will this Mud Slap go through?
I think that shield may have been a mistake, because I think there's quite a bit of energy on both of these Mons.
That was a nice snipe there by Clunk, just to try and get rid of the Mon before it got off to a move.
But now this Glisopod has an Aquatail, if it can survive here, an Aquajet, sorry. I think this might be enough to KO.
Yeah, I think it might. I think it might just survive there. It does take it out. That was nice energy management there from Mikey.
Yeah, and I'd written that match off as finished, so clearly Mikey disagreed with that one and managed to pull it off with all the energy saved on the Glisopod.
Yeah, I think I almost wrote Mikey off as well. So that was well done by Mikey to come back in that game. What are your thoughts for a rethink on Clunk's side?
I think team-wise he did everything right until that first shield was probably the one mistake Mikey needed to capitalize and pull that match out. So I don't know if there'll be too much of a change in strategy, because I think he did have the right idea going into that match and the way he played it out.
Yeah, 100%, and just trusting his skills as well. So that was really good from Mikey Morgs. Be interesting to see whether or not he tries to strengthen the Marowak again, or whether or not he just, then again, Mikey's playing and we just casted at the end of the day. That's why we're out.
I wonder if we will see the Dedenne come in again now that Clunk's down 1 game. Does he take a risk to try and get back in it, or does he try and play it a bit safe?
Could be a little bit risk reward too. If you can read the team comp, and he thinks Dedenne is going to be safe for sure. But yeah, going safer might be the way to go. He didn't bring I didn't see Dusclops in the first game, so I wonder whether or not he might bring that in the second game. Just knowing how strong Mikey's Shadow Dusclop was.
That line in the first game with the Marowak and the Arachnoid does kind of invite the Galarian Moltres to come in as well with the so I do wonder if that's Clunk trying to set Mikey up to bring that Moltres so he can then bring the Dedenne to punish it.
Yeah, I guess we'll see what they do for games 2, but the fact that the Arachnowind's got double water as well, it looks like we're heading to the second game. Stunfisk into a Drapion lead.
It's a good lead for the Stunfisk, but not as good as you'd like, especially with that Dedenne sitting in the back.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I believe Clunk's just trying to. Clunk would want alignment, but we've got these Tails off, and yeah, that's the first one go.
So I think Clunk would be ecstatic to see this Stunfisk here and to see it no shielding with the Lapras and the Dedenne in the back, because now the Dedenne in particular is going to be quite free in the back, I think.
Yeah, I wonder whether or not Clunk's thinking of just saving shields for the Dedenne, just knowing that he's seeing the Stunfisk out and it's almost out. He might even try to get, oh, he does throw a Mud Bomb, try and get switched. Will we get
I
a
think I would
shield?
let the Drapion go and come in with the Lapras to get ahead on energy. Maybe tank a Thunder with Discharge.
Yeah, 100%. He does that too as well. Just try to. Oh, he does get to the move. So, and we're not even going to get a shield. It looks like we potentially could get a 2 shield to Dene. That could be the strat. Looks like he's going for. And he brings in. What's he going to bring in?
I think if the Dusclops, he's looking to switch to that Dedenne instantly.
Yeah. Oh, that's good as well. It gets a few moves head start onto the Dusclops. They're going to just start ramping up its defense with a Parabolic Charge, which I feel like's broken in this update.
It's going to be a tough one for Mikey to pull out with the pacing of that Dedenne and it's going to keep boosting its defense as we go through. So we see the early shield on the Shadow Punch, and he's probably going to ramp his defense up a second time before the second Shadow Punch gets off.
Oh, it's the second Shadow Punch get off. Is he going to shield the second time? He does. He's putting it. Looks like he wants to keep the Dedenne healthy and then just ramp it up as we get off a Parabolic Charge. He's not going to shield, so he's. Yeah, looks like he might try and put it on Glycopod.
Yeah, we've got the 2 shield Glycopod, but with this Dedenne is now 2 stages boosted. And it's going to be 3 before it gets hit with the first Aqua Jet.
Yeah, 100%. And we do get a shield this time, but that's times 4 now. So these Aqua Jets.
I
think
2 Aqua Jets will still be enough, but then you've got the Lapras in the back to deal with a lot of health as well.
100%. He does he get to the? Yeah, he gets some Parabolic Charge, and we do get a shield from Mikey Morg. So yeah, this Dedene's just ramped up in defense.
We may see an attempted catch before the next Parabolic Charge. No, just lets it go. It's comfortable that the Lapras can close it out from here, I think.
Yeah, just go straight to a Skull Bash. And
you may not even need it. The Sparkling Aria may just be enough at this health range.
Yeah, this is. Even if it does survive, Lapras has got 2 healthy anyway.
So that Lapras Glycopod matchup is interesting because even without Skull Bash, the Sparkling Arias and the Psy Waves add up quite quickly.
Yeah, that was a good adjustment by Clunk as well. He used his Dedenne perfectly that match.
So he went the opposite way. I kind of was thinking. He just went triple weak to the Stunfisk. It was like, you can't beat everything. It's going to go down eventually. And I think Mikey probably thought the Drapion is a very weak to Stunfisk lead, so there's probably not the Drapion and the Dedenne, and didn't expect that coming in the back when he saw that lead.
Yeah, well, that was just well played by Clunk, as you said, triple weak to Stunfisk, but Stunfisk just how Mikey wasn't aware that he was triple strong with Stunfisk, and brilliant strategy by Clunk as we head into the decider. What changes are you expecting for the game of 3? Do you reckon Clunk will probably go triple weak again to the Stunfisk, or can you see some adjustment? He plays his hand.
It's very risky. I think the Dustclops might come back out because it is a decent answer to that Stunfisk.
Yeah,
Maybe
it looks like that. And the Stunfisk is very good for Michael Mork, so I dare say you'll bring that again. That and the Shadow Dustclops. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how he adjusts going into the game 3.
I wonder if we'll finally see him break out that Galarian Moltres as well.
We want to see it. I think it'd be risky to bring it knowing that the Dene came in, and the fact that it just ramped up. You don't really want to have the Moltres potentially coming in on it.
So what makes Dedenne and Moltres quite hard to use is you get them in the wrong place and it's game over before
Yeah.
we've even started. But you get them right, and you can really just run through a team like we just saw there from Clunk.
I want to see Tinkatonk. See some Tinkatonk play from Mikey. I reckon it's got some play. But then again, these battlers know what they're doing. So it'd be interesting to see what adjustments are made for game 3.
A Tinkaton safe swap could be a good option for Mikey because it may not even draw out the Marowak, because you'd be expecting the Ufisk to be a bait out for the Marowak to protect the Ufisk. So it could be a little ABA to Marowak with the Tinkaton could be a winning strategy. But he's relied heavily on that Golisopod, so I'll assume that'll come again.
Yep. Looks like we're locked in for game 3, and we have he did bring the Tinkaton into the AWAC.
It's a rough lead for the Tinkaton.
Yeah,
and the Ufisk is in the back, so he cannot stay out. So if I'm Clunk and seeing this, I instantly assume it has to be the Ufisk in the back.
Yeah, 100%. And we go straight for Flying Club, so which lets that go. Oh, that does massive damage. And we have a player off coming through here, which is quickly shielded.
I think we'll see an instant pivot out from Clunk because it's probably into the Drapion.
Yeah, he's staying in. He probably wants to try. I know he does swap out into the Lapras, which is draw out the Ufisk, and we have a Sparkling Aria coming Stunfisk's way, which is no shielded. Does a lot of damage too. Now it's look, the Stunfisk is just ramping up here. You'd think, wonder if Clunk's going to use his last Protect Shield, or whether or not he's happy to let the Lapras get some more damage on him. Looks like he's just happy to soak it up.
I think he'll let the Lapras go, try to get a shield here, and then try to get a lot of energy with that Marowak on the Stunfisk, and then convert that to Rock Slide. Rock Slide against the Golisopod.
Yeah.
Because this energy from the Stunfisk goes absolutely nowhere to the Marowak. So I think we'll see another pivot out.
Yeah, and Clunk's letting this go through, so he's going to, looks like he'll go straight into the AWAC, straight into Golisopod, and we get a Rock Slide. Are we going to get a shield? No, he lets it go.
And I think that was probably the best win con for Mikey, was that there's a bait.
Yeah, 100%. And this is not going to do much damage to the Drapion, I don't believe. And yeah, Drapion's just going to farm it down.
Yep. And then the Marowak, or maybe these Aquatails, will close game out. I'm not sure. Mikey will shield this. And we've already got the score on the side updated to 2.
Wow.
I may have called that early.
Well, with good reason. I'm not sure there's a...
yeah,
the Stunfisk is just sitting there.
I think Mikey's resigned to the result, and it was just well played by Clark. It was a rough lead, though. Got the Keno Marowak into probably the best position possible, which is the Tinkaton. So that was just rough lead for Mikey.
Yep. Yeah, very rough spot for Mikey there. Well, like, that's the risk of running that ABA, especially with something that's so dominant like that. That K-Whack. Oof. Shadow K-Whack, mud slap damage was real.
I think it's matchups against both of those Pokemon are so hard wins for the Marowak that It's not the most. It's a tricky ABA strategy to pull off if you get it wrong. There are ones like the Drapion where it can at least hit back with some spammy Aquatails and farm up energy elsewhere to maybe make it playable.
All right. Well, these guys, I'm just sorry to jump in, but that is our first semi-final done. So we now have the second semi-final coming up next, which is They Love Jai all the way over the ditch. Not the ditch that Clunk's in, the other ditch in Western Australia. He's going to be facing Gone 1001. And now these guys are almost ready to get in. I think looks like one of them's logged in, the other one's got to get their phone. I will do the things that I need to do first, and we'll try and get some teams up for you shortly. Gentlemen, we haven't seen much of Gorn and They Love Jai lately. What are your thoughts without even looking at the teams?
I had the pleasure of losing to Gorn in the previous round, so uh, Gorn's a very consistent battler. He's always been in the top tier of Australian battlers, so I'd expect nothing from Gorn. He's very strong. Yeah, he knows how to use his energy very well, and he's coming up against a really up and coming battler in EJ Live, which is in WA, and yeah,
Yeah, and we can see Jai's signature Alolan Ninetales, although not the Shadow version, so it's a bit different one to his usual pick. He usually rocks that Shadow Alolan Ninetales, but a bit of a different choice.
look, if it works for you, it works for you.
I think that the thing that stands out to me on Jai's team is going to be that Shadow Quagsire. There's no real hard answer to it. Probably the Arachnid is the best answer, but it still has to watch out for those stone edges if the Quagsire can get energy leads.
Yeah, the Quagsire looks really good. I believe Gorm will probably bring the Dusclops. If you take away the Moltres, I feel like it has a lot of play into the Live's team. Um, but yeah, it's not running Mud Bomb either. It's running the Aquatail Stone Edge variant.
Yeah. I think the Tinkerton from Jai is looking quite safe with only that. Oh, if we've got a battle underway, something's happening.
Yeah, it looks like it's a Tinkaton
It
into
is the
the Draco.
Tinkerton. As I was saying, that Diggersby is very tough for Gorn to bring with kind of 5 decent answers to it. So he basically, if he brings it, he has to land on the Tinkerton or it gets defeated. I think we've got Jai's screen here.
Yeah, we do. It looks like Jai's got the Shadow Quag and the Lapras in the back, farming up a lot of energy and throwing the player off. Wonder if we'll get a shield. This will do some damage.
There is a shield from Gorn. I think
Yeah,
the Tink could even survive this Aquatail, so he does let it go and probably built up to the next player up as well.
yeah, it'll probably get to it. Oh, there's a quick swap into the Lapras, and then you got a Lapras mirror. Yeah, and the Jailov's throwing the Skull Bash straight away to boost its defense.
Getting the first Skull Bash off is absolutely critical in these matchups. And he's got a shield advantage, so I think he's looking like he's in a pretty solid position at the moment.
Yeah, 100%. The defense fall is going to do a lot, and as you can see, that Skull Bash there didn't do quite as much damage. Jailov's building up to the Skull Bash, but it looks like Gorn's throwing the move first. Will this take it out the Sparkling Aria? Not quite. So he's going to try and farm down. No, he can't. Throws the Sparkling Aria. Is he up to back-to-backs there?
I think he's just close to it. He may instantly pivot out in case that's. Oh, and they've got the Dedenne on the Quagsire.
Oh, no.
So this is a very rough matchup for the Dedenne.
Yeah, this is not where you want to see the Dedenne, but Quagsire is in the perfect position, farming up some energy. Shields the parabolic charge, though, which is, yeah, seeing shield, we're just going to go straight to the Stone Edge. This is going to do a lot of damage unshielded.
I think at this point, Jai's got 2 shields and there's not a lot of charge moves coming from elsewhere, so he just has to use them. And Gorn tried to call a bait. I think that was his only win con there.
Yeah, 100%. And the Quagsire's got a lot of energy still going into the Drapion, going to farm up. Oh, that looks like a CMP or just before CMP there, but it looks like the crunch. Shred crunch? Yeah, shows the crunch. It's going to do a lot of damage onto an unshielded Drapion Quagsire.
You
Oh,
attempted
he tries to
catch.
catch there. I think he had to do that. It was his only play, but he's going to spam these Aqua Towers off now.
Yeah, I think Jar has enough energy saved on the Lapras and the Tigaton to cover, even if there was a catch there. So I think that was a very comfortable end game for him.
Yeah.
It just kind of
I think
shows the risk of the Dedenne. If you get it in the right place, it can sweep a game, but you get it on that wrong Pokemon, and you're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, 100%. And that Shadow Quag is so strong. It's the last place that Dedenne wanted to be on, which I can't see Jylove pivoting from that Shadow Quag. It doesn't really have any counters against, can hit literally everything. So, yeah, I expect that to come every day. How Gorn's going to potentially change. He might try to bring his own Asclops. I'm not sure how he goes about this.
He may try to bring that Araquanid. I think it's got a lot of neutral play against the mons that I think Jar rely on. Maybe try to get the Diggersby as well.
Yeah, but I can get potentially walled onto Lapras too. Just knowing that the Araquanid's got double water charge moves too. So, yeah, it'd be a risk to bring that as well as the Lapras. So it'd be interesting to see how Gorn goes about this. I
Interesting
feel
to see
like
if he brings the Dedenne again after it was shut down so hard last time.
yeah. But the Diggersby, do you see any play for the Diggersby at all on Gorn's side? Just to try and change something up.
I think it can. There's that Tinkerton, and it can work against the Quagsire, but the Quagsire's not a good matchup. But you get up a bit of energy, and you can flip it as Diggersby if they don't want to invest shields.
Yeah, so yeah, as we've noted, the Quagsire is fairly strong. I think it's going to take a team effort for Gorn to take out the Quag, but if it can come out with some energy, it'll be well set for the rest of its mons.
Yeah, we may see the Dusclops pivot again. Or other than the Moltres, there's nothing really that hard counters it. So it's always a risk with them. But I think even with the Shadow Dusclops, it can two-shot a Moltres with Ice Punch, so it's not the worst matchup in the world either.
Yeah. I'm not sure whether or not the Moltres will make an appearance, just knowing that Gorn brought the Dedenne to try and scare it off. So I don't know. I could be completely wrong and Jylove brings it, but I think Gorn's game for game one was to just try and scare it. Which gives the Dusclops a lot more play. I guess.
So just got a delay at the moment while trying to get Gorn's screen working. I think you could probably remember from that last battle we only had one side, so we're just trying to get both screens working, which is causing a small delay at the moment.
Yeah, 100%. Another strat as well, if Gorn brings the Dusclops, use his own Dusclops, even if he doesn't win the matchup, just try and eliminate it, come down with Quag, farm it down, get some energy to come out. So I guess, yeah, it doesn't, the Dusclops, even though it could potentially get into that matchup, Jylove could potentially just lose that on purpose and then come in with Quag. Like, I guess it's probably the worst case for the Quag to farm anything down, let alone get rid of the Dusclops, which is potentially neutral into it.
And it's tough with both that Tinkerton and Lapras having quite good matchups versus the Araquanid. You kind of want to bring it to have an answer for that Quagsire, but if you get it in the wrong place, with also the Dusclops and the Moltres, it's a very risky Pokemon. So I'm not envious of the position Gorn's in this matchup. I think he's a little slight team comp disadvantage here.
So why is players bringing going double water rack and rid instead of going to bug buzz this season?
I think it's Axon really kind of pioneered it at NIC, but that bug bite is quite a slow charging charge move, and by the time you actually build up to the bug buzz energy, wherever you want to hit is probably mostly dead anyway. So then that extra water damage is probably the good coverage and makes Araquanid such a nice safe swap into a lot of situations.
Yeah, 100%. Like it's just Inaction's just made it famous, and yeah, like water pulse being stab as well just hits.
Otherwise, if you end up on the Dustclops, the Tinkerton, those kind of matchups, they know you're never going to hit them with something they need to shield. So there's not much pressure coming through from the Araquanid in those matchups.
Yeah, and I believe the way the meta's gone as well, grass types are probably not as prevalent. So bug buzz is probably not required as much, and darks has gone down a little bit as well in the meta update, which which helps the going double water as well. So yeah, it's
and with Cradilly now moving to acid and kind of Shadow Jumpluff really falling off and not using grass moves in the first place, and Superior now is kind of really it was always a trickier Pokemon to use, but it's kind of, you look at these teams, there's a lot of answers to it on both of these teams. So it's not there's not a lot of grass coverage going around. Probably Furret and Scissor are the two that get used the most besides Cradilly.
I believe I was the only one that actually brought Superior in this tournament, so it actually served me well going in a couple of rounds. But yeah, like it's kind of hard to bring sometimes, but it does have its advantages.
Leaf Tornado?
No, standard moveset.
Oh, I love the Shadow Superior with Leaf Tornado. Okay, it seems like we're getting close to getting the next battle up, so we should be joining these two battles shortly.
What about the Dustclops? The advantages of going Shadow over non-Shadow. Do you think it's just more of a damage thing with Dustclops obviously being good in this meta, or with a Hex buff the previous season, I believe it was, or?
Yeah, I feel like Dustclops, the non-Shadow, doesn't put out a lot of damage. But oh, here we go. We've got both teams locked in, and we've got both screens.
And it looks like Jyla will be starting Drapion, and we got that Quagsire, which was causing so much troubles.
We're jumping sides. We've got the Quagsire into the Drapion. Jai's Quagsire and Gon's Drapion. So this is generally a good matchup for the Quagsire, but these crunches are going to hurt.
Yeah, and both being Shadow too, that's going to do a lot of damage. Jai's farming a lot of move, goes to the Stone Edge. Will we get a shield? And it looks like Gorn's correctly identified that this is going to be a Stone Edge and shields.
Without Mud Bomb, this matchup is not as comfortable for the Quagsire because you don't have that super effective charge move damage, and the Aqua Tails don't do a huge amount.
Yeah, 100%. I guess it's a preference whether or not you want Aqua Tail or Mud Bomb. And looks like we're going to get an Aqua Tail off here, which is going to take out the Drapion into the Dustclops and quick swap into Tinkertonk. And we got a Shadow Punch coming off here, which is going to do not much damage. And yeah, Tinkertonk can just. And we get a Bulldoze off after Jai builds up to 2.
Like potentially recognizing that one play rough isn't going to be enough to KO the bulky Dustclops anyway, so might as well fish for that Bulldoze debuff first.
Yeah, 100%. Always strategy. Oh, it looks like we've lost screens. Yeah.
They're back
No, we
into
got
it.
it back.
Now this player off. I don't know it's enough to KO the Dusclops either. Yeah, surviving with a very small amount of health, and the Dedenne onto the Tinkerton.
Yeah, and we get a bulldoze off on it, which is going to go non-shielded. This is going to be doing super effective damage, which is non-shielded. And we go, oh, we get a parabolic charge, swap into the Quag, and we're going to get a shield too.
As the Quagsire is very low, and I think a parabolic charge would have been enough to knock it out there. But now, with that boost, it may survive an Aqua Tail, but Gorn not taking that risk. He just wants to get rid of this Quagsire.
Yeah, it looks like Dene's going to try and find. I know he's not going to. He just wants to get rid of the Quagsire, boost its defense again. I don't believe it's got much energy heading into the next match. Although he does have a catch option as well. But there's a full health Lapras here.
Yeah, and the fast move pressure from that Lapras is going to add up substantially. So I think Jai may be just to be able to fast move through the remaining Pokemon, because this parabolic charge does a lot, but I don't think it'll be enough.
Yeah, no, it's not going to quite do enough.
Oh, and that was Jai predicted the snipe attempt from Gorn and caught on his own Tinkerton.
That was very high level play there. He's just going to farm it down after the nice catch, and farm down the Sparking area. So farm down the Dene, but that was a nice work from Jai, working out what Gorn's win con was there and squashing it.
And closing out with a 2-0.
So we've got our finalists, I believe. Now, was I correct? I'm just looking at the challenge bracket here, which I'll actually put in chat. I won't pop it up for everyone. It's just a bit too tricky to get everything done. But I believe it's Clunk NZ versus They Love Jai in this final. I think Mikey Morgs was reported as the winner, which was slightly incorrect, shall we say? But that's all right. We know what's going on. Now both of these trainers are tied in points at the moment. So, I guess whoever wins out of them is gonna have a fairly a decent advantage getting into it. And I believe it or not, I think we actually have almost both trainers are in the channel and they're sharing the screen. So now this is a best of 5. So this is going to be a full best of 5. Hopefully we can get through that in the half hour, because I know Zeetarb needs to get going fairly shortly. But the trainers are sharing the team. So I'm going to duck out. I'm going to get the teams. We'll get the screens up and ready so we can get this best of 5 battle. If Clunk NZ New Zealand versus They Love Jai Western Australia in the finals of this Arena Australis Shield for quarter 3.
Yeah, look, we've got these matchups here for the finals. The first thing that's standing out is the Dusclops on both sides. J-Live's side obviously wants to avoid the Drapion, but other than that, it looks fairly good. And on Clunk's side, besides the Moltres, I feel like the Dusclops looks really good.
I think for Jai, both again he will rely heavily on that Quagsire Tinkerton combo, because there's not a lot of the Marowak does shut down the Tinkerton, but everything else is a bad matchup for it on Jai's team. So it's just way too risky to bring. You basically got a 1 in 3 chance of getting it in the right place, and I don't think Clunk is going to want to play those odds out.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like Jai Love's potentially going to bring the Dusclops, Quagsire core. I wouldn't be surprised to see Clunk bring the Marowak, Dusclops.
I think we'll finally see Clunk break out the Dedenne as well, potentially.
We want the Dedenne. You'd be happy having a local in the final as well.
Yeah. I think at the start I did say Jai has been he's really stepped up his game to another level the last few months, and he's been winning quite a few locals as well.
Jai Love's going to Worlds as well, isn't it?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah,
he's had Several
just
second places as well.
just a top trainer, and yeah, he'll be going up against the person who's been winning all these Australis Shields, mainly in Clunk. So yeah, it's probably the best versus the best.
I did propose in the Australia Shield chat that the winner should set the default time zone for the Arena Australis server, but so far very minimal support for that idea. But the Eastern States would be out of this. It'd be New Zealand or WA. There's nothing in between left.
Well, so I was told either 2 hours ahead or 2 hours behind for me. Whether for you it'd just be perfect or it'd be completely no good.
Yeah. I think this matchup does probably favour Jai's team slightly, with the Quagsire Tinkerton combo being quite safe, and potentially a third, like either the Lapras or the Dusclops to bring in. I think the
Yeah,
Moltres also has a lot of play, but I think that Dedenne matchup is just so bad that he'll probably want to avoid just that on the odds that he loses because of one bad alignment.
yeah, it looks like they're both locked in, and we got the Arachnoid into the Ninetales. Looks like it's Shadow Ninetales.
Mm. So the Alolan Ninetales coming into the Arachnid. We haven't seen it so far from him, but this is one of his favorite Pokemon.
Yeah, look, sometimes you just need to bring your signature, and we get a quick shield here, so obviously Clunk just knows the threats of it, building up a lot of energy. It throws the bubble beam. Will we get a shield? No, we get a quick no shield, so nice call there from Jylove.
Yeah, it's a very weird matchup because both of their fast moves are quite heavily resisted, but then the charge moves for the Dazzling Game in particular does a lot of damage. Well, it did before a
Yeah,
debuff anyway.
yeah, that debuff makes it doesn't hurt so much, but we're going to get a water pulse in here. It looks like it's going to take out the Ninetales, which will give Clunk the opening match now, which Tink Tonk's going to come in and yeah, see what Clunk wants to do. He was building up a lot of energy and throws a bubble beam.
Yeah, so we've got the Quagsire in the back left for Jai, and then the Dedenne and the Lapras for Clunk. So potentially that Quagsire is going to have a lot of play if he can get it onto the Dedenne again, up shields.
Yeah, if you noticed, with a shield haven't been spent on Jylove, that Quagsire is going to be very dangerous too. He does get off a bubble beam, I believe it is, so it's going to debuff the Tinkatonk.
So it's a
Oh,
water
water
pulse. So
pulse, sorry.
this shows the skill that's involved in using Arachnid, because Clunk recognizing that with that first bubble beam, that'll debuff the Tinkerton enough to allow him to get a water pulse in the end game.
Yeah, 100%. We're going straight for the Stone Edge here, putting a lot of pressure on Clunk to potentially shield, which he does. So yeah, it was a very good shield there by Clunk, and go straight for the Sparkling Aria, which gets a shield back.
He had the Skull Bash to buff the defense, but he knows with two shields, Jai is almost always going to shield that move. So the Sparkling Aria, the better play in that situation.
Yeah, 100%. And we get a second shield here. Protect his Quagsire at all costs, knowing it's very strong. He throws a Stone Edge. This is going to do major damage.
Yeah, and very good energy management from Jai. Farmed up to almost the point where Clunk was at the next Sparkling Aria, just to maximize the energy on the Quagsire for that matchup in the back.
Yeah, and this is going to do massive damage here. The Stone Edge for the Shadow Quag. Will this take it out? Not quite, but yeah, it's going to be forced to stop Tinkatonk and just throw the Bulldoze.
All that energy banked from the earlier matchup pays off.
Yeah, 100%. Like, just the Quag had so much energy there. Well, energy managed, and the fact that it had a shield up, just able to dictate terms there in the mid to end game. So looking at the teams here, how do you see Clunk bouncing back, trying to bounce back for game two?
I think, again, the Dustclops potentially. Yes. Yeah, so just getting word that it indeed the Ninetales that was brought was the incorrect one. So Jai has registered a non-shadow Ninetales on his team sheet here and actually used a shadow one. So I did notice a bit unusual at the start of the broadcast that Jai didn't have his regular shadow Alolan Ninetales. So unfortunately, looks like that wasn't intentional.
Yeah, looks like it's just an error there, and let the judges make the call. But yeah, I wasn't 100% sure whether or not it was a error on the screen or it was just a error on Jai's behalf. But yeah, it's been a dispute here, and we'll see how that goes.
I suppose it shows how much use the Alolan Ninetales has had throughout the tournament so far. If this is the first time that's come up in the final.
Yeah,
So
that I guess that, or it's just been yeah, accidentally brought. But we'll see what the judges say.
yeah, I
So how do you
think
see? Sorry.
I would say I think Jai's team probably works okay without the Alolan Ninetales at all. I think a team of 5 with no Alolan Ninetales works fine. I feel like it's kind of a bit of a passenger on that team.
So, sorry, just jumping in here, guys. The battlers don't really know what's going on here, but the judges and the people watching do. So, I'm waiting for. I'm not going to update the scores until we get an official from them on that. But both trainers are looking at locking in their teams shortly.
Cool. So Jai and Clunk are about to lock in their teams for game number 2, while that first game is being looked at in terms of the incorrect Pokemon that was being used. So we're just going to keep going and head straight on into the next one very shortly.
What changes do you see happening from both teams? Do you see? I feel like the Shadow Quag Clunk just needs to do something to try and slow it down.
Yeah,
And
I
we
think the
have,
Dustclops has to come from Clunk.
yeah, and Moltres into Arachnoid, which is a
Yeah.
great lead for Jylove.
Yeah, and they got that Araquanid and Marowak in the back for Clunk. So this Moltres is really going to find a home wherever it lands, and that same backline of the Tinkaton and Quagsire.
Yeah, it's not worrying about going to the Brave Bird, just trying to get these flyers off, just knowing that it does big damage, super effective damage to the Arachnoid, which we get a shield, and yeah, no shield here from Jylove.
This is one of the strengths of Araquanid. It can debuff and kind of force its way through a lot of matchups. And with that Marowak and Tinkaton in the back, it could be majorly important.
Yeah, and the health of the Moltres is dwindling very quickly, so we don't get a shield here from the Brave Bird, which does super effective damage and going to take out the Arachnoid.
Both players
It-
recognizing that the debuff Fly probably wasn't going to be enough to KO there, and Clunk hoping that was what Jai was throwing.
Yeah, and there was no swap out there from Jylove. He's just trying to read the back line of Clunk and yeah, just try and keep alignment. It looks like we got a straight Bone Club on, which we're going to get shielded onto this Shadow Quagsire, which is going to add up our Fing Shadows.
And once again, we see Jai with the perfect kind of over farms. He knows exactly when that Marowak's going to reach his next charge move and farms up to just before that point.
Yeah, that does so much damage. He lets the Bone Club go, knowing that the Quagsire's done its job, and he's going to put it all on the Tinker. Oh no, he gets off an Aqua Tail, and we're going to get a shield here.
Clunk may have miscounted the energy by 1, because I think Jai was just 1 away from that Stone Edge, which would have been devastating for the Lapras.
Yeah, no, I don't believe he was at the Stone Edge, so that was miscounted, and that player off's going to do so much damage. But we've got a double Sparkling Aria incoming here, and we're going to get the shield.
Yeah, this is the move left that's going to do the most damage to the Tinkaton. So sensible place to spend your shield.
Yes, 100%. Is it going to get to another Sparkling Aria before it gets to the player off? Oh, it looks like that's
CMP tie, is it?
Yeah, I believe it's a CMP tie. is this going to do enough play rough? Not. Yes, it does. Oh, that was fairly close.
Yeah, that was that was one turn away from the end there. And I think that shield call on the Quagsire was critical in that end game as well.
Yeah, 100%. That and the CMP tie were probably the two things there. But again, just helps to, if you shoot at the wrong time or shoot at the right time, it just makes a huge difference in the outcome of the match.
I think Clunk has steadfastly kind of avoided that Dusclops. We haven't seen him. I don't think we've seen him use it once so far, which is
No,
quite interesting.
I wonder if Jalab expected it. That's why the Moltres
Mm.
came. But the Moltres had so much play that game. I wonder if it's going to actually scare the Dusclops potentially making an appearance now.
Yeah, most other game players you see with Dusclops, if it's not on the lead, it's in the back somewhere. It's always there.
And there was no
So-
Dedenne either. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
it'd be interesting.
think recognizing that risk of getting it on the Quagsire and how much damage that puts out.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and the Quags, yeah. So it'd be interesting to see what happens game 3. I'm kind of expecting a Dedenne return quietly. What Quagsire will come from Chilove. As you said, quite from the start, Quagsire, Tinkatonk, they're just strong core.
I think he's going to rely on these the whole way through, maybe subbing out that third Pokemon depending on how he feels. He's tried the Moltres, he tried the Ninetales. Maybe next one will be either the Dusclops.
Yeah, I feel like Clark may need to bring in the Dusclops just to try and just more defensive play. I don't know, like just hit the Quagsire as well. Like the Quagsire's hitting everything and forcing his shield, so it may be able to bring the Dusclops and just try and soak some damage and preserve those shields for other ones.
I'm surprised both of them aren't bringing it, with the Drapion being kind of the hardest counter on Clunk's team, but then that Quagsire and Tinkaton have such good matchups against the Drapion. It makes the Drapion very hard to bring. So does the Dusclops get freed up by that?
Yeah, no, I'm actually, I agree. I feel like the Dusclops should be brought. I don't know, the Drapion, if Drapion can land on Quag, the fact that it doesn't have Mud Bomb makes it a little better for Drapion. Just spam those crunches, but yeah, like Stone Edge, Aquatails, like they just do massive damage, shadow on shadow, and it's definitely a favorable matchup for the Quag.
All right, just going to jump in here, gentlemen. I'm just letting you know, so it is game 1 will be awarded to Clunk because the Ninetales was shadow incorrectly used. But Clunk has also agreed he's quite happy for Jai to use the shadow Ninetales going forward. So bit of good sportsmanship from both trainers. Apologies are made, everything's all sorted out, and they're getting ready for game number 3. So we're 1-1, and shadow Alola Ninetales is allowed for Jai Love.
Yeah, so we're getting ready for game number 3 now, and the score's been adjusted to 1-1 due to that incorrect Shadow Ninetales in game 1. However, Clunk has agreed to allow Shadow Ninetales to be used going forward. So we may potentially see that Shadow Ninetales come out in games 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah, the fact Ninetales was fairly strong game 1 and it doesn't really have much hitting it back. It might bring the Shadow AWAC back, but other than that, yeah, Ninetales, Quagsire, Tinkton's a very tough call.
Yeah, I think I know there's a lot of like the Dusclops Lapras matchup can be flipped by IVs, and it can go from a very very good win for Lapras to a very very kind of close win for the Dusclops if you've got a defense weighted Dusclops. So that may be why both players are a bit nervous about bringing that Dusclops if they don't know if their IVs aren't that strong combination.
Yeah, 100%. And these trainers are really good. Like they'll be able to sense like any weaknesses, and just by going off the previous matches, whether or not how strong a certain one is and how defensive and attack weighted on how many moves it takes. Because as you said, sometimes an IV can change a matchup, or you can just do one or two more or less fast moves, which will yeah. And it looks like we're going into game 3 to score 1-1, and it looks like Clunk will come in with a Shadow AWAC, and it's being met with the Tinkertonk.
Just persisted with the Shadow Marok and got it exactly where he wanted it. So that's a great start for Clunk. And he's staying in just to try and get some ship damage on this Quagsire, but ending up having to use a shield himself to avoid an Aquatail.
Yeah, he's looking to build up. He's going to build up a bit of energy here. One over, throw the Bone Club. Going to get a shield back. Will he pivot or will he stay back? That Quag, he quickly goes straight into Lapras. Although the problem is the Quagsire has got building up to the Stone Edge and going to put pressure on this Lapras to get this second shield.
Oh, double shielding, but Clunk has that to detonate in the back for Jai's Lapras, so potentially not a bad outcome. And we may see Jai shield this and pivot out, or he may just let it go.
Yeah, no, we're going to get a shield here from Jylove. And is he going to pivot out? No, it looks like he's going to try and get to the Stone Edge. This is going to be a race. Oh, and Clunk gets to the Sparkling Aria first, which is going to take out the Quagsire. And it's also going to give alignment as well, which can get that to Dene onto the Lapras potentially.
A rare miscount from Jai. His counts tonight have been absolutely on point up until now, and that one cost him a lot of energy on the Quagsire.
Yeah, 100%, as well as the alignment, but he's going for a lot of energy here, trying to really spam the play. Looks like spam the play roughs, try and get the Lapras really low. And will he go for a body bulldoze here? Nah, Sparkling Aria, no shield, so it looks like this will go through and it'll be a race.
Yeah, and Jai's got to put it all on his Lapras in the back and hope it's not that Dedenne. But unfortunately for him, that's exactly what's waiting for him in the back there.
And yeah, Clunk gives the bad news to Jylove that it is the Dedenne and ramp up the defensive with the parabolic charge. I think this is, yeah, I think Jylove's in a lot of trouble here.
Yep, even the Skull Bash will boost Jai's defense, but the Dedenne's defense is already boosted, so this is not going to do a huge amount of damage.
Yeah, it's still in yellow, and it looks like he's going to try and potentially farm down. Oh, no, he's not going to quite be able to, so straight to parabolic charge, take it out, and yeah, just this one looks like it's over. Oh, we do have energy on the Tinkertonk. No, he tries a parabolic charge. I think he just knows that this is, yeah, it's over.
Yeah, I think Jai, maybe if the Marowak was low enough that a Play Rough could KO and then a Bulldoze could KO the Lapras was probably his only chance in that end game.
Yeah, he just got a bit unlucky that it Dene fell on the Lapras and it just ramped up from there. Then by the time it took the Lapras out, it was already times 2 or 3 defense, and yeah, had a bit of energy, and it was just, yeah. Jylove was in a bit of trouble there.
So Clunk took the massive risk of leading with the Marowak into the team with 5 Marowak counters, and it worked out for him.
So sometimes if you can read a team really well that one time, but also as well, sometimes if you're 5 times weak to something, the play is to lead it because they're not going to expect you to lead it. And then you have just have the 2 counters in the back and have that one thing you can target in the lead. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how Jylove changes his teams or addresses going to the next one.
I think he's been very reliant on that Quagsire Tinkertonk core, and probably Clunk cottoned onto that and predicted the lead with the Tinkertonk, and that's so we may see Jai adjust and maybe not be as aggressive using that Tinkertonk.
Do we see the Moltres again? Hope it can avoid the Dedenne.
I keep thinking we'll see the Dusclops, and they never come out.
Yeah, look, these trainers are highly skilled that they just know what's going on. There must be a reason for it. But in saying that, though, can someone please bring a Dusclops? We are asking for Dusclops to play.
Yeah, it could be that it's too obvious as a kind of a neutral thing, so they keep expecting there's going to be an answer.
Right, we're going to game 4 here. 2-1 to Clunk, and we got the Dene into the Tinkerton.
So Jai's doubled down and led the Tinkerton again, thinking there's no way he's going to pull that with the Marowak twice in a row, and then the catch of the parabolic charge on the Quagsire.
Oh, that was good counting from Jylove, and that was a very nice catch. And knowing that the Dene has to swap out gives the Shadow Quagsire some time to get some energy, and it's going straight for the Stone Edge.
Yeah, effectively wasting that energy on that defense booth from the Dene.
Yeah. You reckon it's just building up here? It looks like it's just trying to get rid of this Quagsire before it gets to a move, not even though it's really low. And he takes it down and he goes straight to Tickatonk. Have a water pulse that's going to do some damage on Tinkertonk.
So
Aggressive swap. Well, we got a Dusclops.
It's finally made an appearance.
We asked for it. Lyros going to do some damage on the Dusclops about almost a third. And yeah, got another player up here. Will we get a second shield here from Clunk? No, he's happy to let the Dusclops go.
Yeah, it's very hard to go down 2 shields to 1, but we may see this now puts it into weather ball range for that Ninetales.
Yeah, that Ninetales just in the back there. Jai's calling card. He's going straight into it, and we just Jai's going straight into it, hoping they're farmed down after taking this Shadow Punch. Yeah, he's swapping to Urakarib, just knowing that you can't let it farm down. Will we get a shield?
Oh, he's called the bait.
That was really good from Clunk, and I believe that was a bubble beam, which is shielded by the Ninetales.
Yeah. So now this Ninetales is looking very debuffed, and even the Dazzling Gleam is not going to do a lot to this Araquanid if it gets no shielded.
Yeah, hence the no shield there from Clunk. But he gets to a bubble beam before getting farmed down. That's actually a good play from Clunk. It gets a shield too. Can he get to the Shadow Punch? Oh, he does before the Tink Tong can farm down. That's huge.
I think the Dene in the back should be able to close it out against this Ninetales upper shield. Oh, and we've just lost the video feed for a second.
Yeah, it looked like the Dene was able to had enough health to potentially farm down there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it was upper shield, so even a Dazzling Gleam wasn't going to be enough, I think. So I think Clunk here comes the Dene with the parabolic charge to KO the, I'm assuming, Ninetales to close out the match.
And it looks like Clunk takes out the Australis shield for a second time this season. So that means Zeetarb you'll be 4 hours behind now, going off the theory of having to convert to whoever wins time zone.
Australis Shield Central Time will be New Zealand time, right? It's an impressive comeback from Clunk after the Quagsire Tinkerton duo looked almost unbeatable.
Thank you, Sammy P. I was muted, but there we go. I'm now back onto the stream so everyone can hear me. Yeah, so congratulations to Clunk NZ for winning this quarter's Shield, Arena Australis Shield. Thank you so much for all the competitors who joined in. Now, Zeetarb, I know you do have something on tonight, so if you need to head off, I'll try and wrap this up as quick as I can. But thank you so much, man. You guys were great. I do appreciate the help so much. It's really, really difficult to cast and produce these things at the same time. So thanks for jumping in on I don't know, I'm going to say around 24 hours. Maybe I gave you a little bit more or a little bit less 24-hour notice. And as always, thank you for Bam Boss and Arena Australis for all the things you've done to organise these tournaments and the things you do. Absolute pleasure. And as much as I hate to say it, congratulations, Clunk NZ, once again for winning. He'll go ahead a few points, and it's going to put the pressure on They Love Jai to come back in the fourth quarter to actually try and get his name on the Nebennet Trophy.